birthday mix-up. It was birthday and the birthday mix-up.
All right.
Guess
Nice.
what? I'm going to tell you a little secret. Guess what?
What?
Since you brought it up, today is Mrs. Browning's birthday.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
you.
Birthday.
Aw.
Thank you.
Do you have anything planned special for today?
Not really. I'm working, doing some videos for kindergarten and first grade, and I just wanted to pop in and say hi to all of you.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did, and I hope you have a beautiful day today, Mrs. Browning.
Well, thank you. I will. I love seeing all these smiling faces, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My birthday was the 22nd.
So we're close.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Awesome.
Emmy, do you have a question?
I've been reading a series of Descendants, second book, and
Oh,
this
are
one
you
has
in?
way more chapters than the other one. It has like 37 or something like that.
That's good.
I've seen that book. My daughter, I think, had that book, and there's a lot of words. There are a lot of chapters. So good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I really like it. I like got it for Easter, and I'm already like in the 20s. and, like,
Wow.
20
That is
I am
awesome.
so proud of you. Keep reading. That's awesome.
Yes.
I think someone else said they were reading something. Bree, was that you? What are you reading, Bree?
Lead books.
Oh, Ramona?
Ramona. Oh, I love Ramona.
I do too.
Yesterday.
They are funny. Ramona gets in all kinds of situations, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's funny.
I've listened to one.
Eden, are you reading any books?
Actually,
Yes. What are you reading?
wait, I get right back.
Victor, how about you? Are you reading? What? I know Miss Kramer has given assignments for you to be reading. Are you doing those? Well, then you're reading, right? Then you're reading. Megan, I know you're reading, right? Yeah.
I'm reading Trying to sign.
Caden went to get his book. I won't stay on long so you can get your lesson in.
Oh, let's see what he's got here. Jimmy,
Oh,
sounds like a rainbow. Huh. So is
I've
that
not
like
seen that one.
yeah, I've never heard
Sign
of that.
gallery so I can see everyone. That's
It's a book that says about the young Jimi Hendrix.
Wow. He was a singer and a musician.
I think.
Wow.
It's the same Jimi Hendrix I'm thinking of.
Right.
All right. Well, I know Miss Kramer has some lessons planned for you today. I just wanted
Yes,
to
I
say
do.
hello, and I miss you. And Miss Kramer, if you have any question, I'll be glad to
I
practice
will.
with you.
I think I'm getting the hang of it now. It's getting a little bit easier for me. So anyway, I'm going to do some lessons. I'm going to read a story, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what we're learning this week. Hi, Chloe.
Awesome.
Chloe's joining us too. Give everybody just a few more minutes, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
so
Mrs.
glad.
Kramer.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
Wait, this is a
Here.
glitch.
All right. Well, I'm so glad to see all of you, and I'm so proud of how much you're reading and all of the work you're doing.
Hi.
Keep doing a good job, okay? All right.
Sounds
Give
good.
yourselves a big pat on the back. Come on, everyone. Even you, Miss Kramer. There you go. All right. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Keep working hard.
Mrs. Browning, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great birthday today.
Thank you. I wouldn't have said
Happy
anything, but
birthday,
you brought
Miss
it up with your
Browning.
book.
Well, it's all right. I
Happy
would have noticed it
birthday.
anyway on media, so I haven't been on there
I
yet.
know.
So anyway, enjoy
All
your day.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. All right, boys and girls, listen. So what I'm going to do is just first I want to do a little check-in to see if anybody has any questions about the assignments for this week. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I have some things I want to kind of talk about and introduce to you. So raise your hand and I can call on you. Don't everybody talk about it, but does anybody have a question about this week's assignments? If not, we'll move right on.
Yeah, question.
Anyone? And remember, I check my email frequently through the day, so if you have a question, please be sure to send me a little email, and I'll be right away respond as quick as I can to help you out. It looks like Tristan is getting ready to join us, so she should be popping up here in a minute. So boys and girls, this week you might have noticed that there's an assignment about reefs and about cause and effect. Last week, the assignments were geared towards cause and effect, and I didn't get a chance to give you much with that. So today, the assignment for this week is cause and effect. How many of you remember what a cause is? Emmy, what's a cause?
A cause is something that happens when a cause is what happens first. Like if you spill your, like if you trip, then it's like what happens, and then after the cause happens, you will get an effect. Like you trip and you scrape your knee. That's like a cause, and then it follows, and then the effect follows.
Right, so exactly. So the story that you're going to be reading this week is about coral reefs, and there are some causes and effects in there, so I really want you to kind of focus on that. The other thing that we're going to be looking at this week is main idea and details. Who remembers what a main idea is? In fact, the story that I'm going to be reading to you, even though it's about math, there is a main idea, but I want to see just in general if you remember what main idea is. Megan, what is main idea? Can you talk a little louder, Megan? Main idea. Chloe?
Some of the pictures are kind of glitching.
I know they are. I don't know that there's a lot I can do with that. Yeah, we'll just do the best we can. I know Megan was trying to say what main idea was. What is main idea? Chloe, do you know? Do you remember?
It's the main part about a story.
Right, it's what a story is mainly about, and we also have details. What are the details? Bree, what are details?
Things that the main idea.
Yeah, they support the story. They prove your main idea, what it's mainly about. So the story that I want to read to you is called The Greedy Triangle. This week, we're starting with plane shapes and geometry. Before I start reading this story, what are plane shapes? What are plane shapes? Tristan? Hi, Tristan. Can you hear me? Do you know what plane shapes are?
Hi, Bree.
She might not be able to hear me too well. Annalisa, do you know what plane shapes are? There was a
Flat
video.
shapes.
Yeah, give me an example.
The triangle is flat because it's
Right.
a flat shape.
Exactly. So a triangle is a plane shape. It's flat. It has no top or bottom. I mean, it's not three-dimensional, which is what we're going to talk about later on too. So a triangle. Anybody else? What's another type of plane shape? Kaden?
The circle.
A circle. Yeah, a circle, definitely. Emmy?
A rectangle.
A rectangle. Very good. Tristan?
Square.
Yes.
Big line.
Yep. And Riley, what about you? Do you know another plane shape? What?
I was square.
A square?
I was gonna say square.
Okay, that's good. So you're all thinking the same, along the same lines. That's good. So Megan?
Oval.
An oval. Yeah, an oval is a plane shape. Awesome. So the story that I want to read to you is a story called The Greedy Triangle. I'm going to fix this so that I can everybody see just me in the middle?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
No,
I can't.
when I push it, it has me as a big screen. It has whoever's speaking.
Okay.
Whenever
Okay. So I need
This is a
to,
weird glitch.
yeah.
There.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out here.
This is a different kind of Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I wanted, for some reason, when I click on my speaker view here, and I click on, I've got, okay,
Amanda,
not sure here.
after this, can I do my schoolwork on here?
All right,
I can't see Mrs. Kramer in full screen.
I know. And when I go to try to get out,
Am I supposed to go to full screen for you so I can see you better?
I'm supposed to be, I should be able to have this to where it's just me. Let me see here.
Put it on to whoever.
I'm pushing speaker view and it's showing up me and then whoever's speaking on the side that's smaller.
Okay.
I go to speaker view and it shows whoever's talking.
Miss Kramer,
Yes.
I think if everybody would mute themselves, that would fix just to you. So if everybody
Right.
else,
Yeah, I'm gonna mute everyone, but I just want to kind of see if I can get it to where it's just, you can see the full screen of me.
yeah, if everybody's muted, then it'll like stop them from flipping back and forth from each
Awesome.
individual.
Okay, okay, I see here. All right, so,
Unmute myself.
Okay, I'm in full screen.
okay, I'm gonna mute all of you.
How do I go to full screen?
Okay, I muted everyone. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm muted.
Okay, let's try this again.
Not me.
They can
Forgive
mute-
me, boys and girls, as I try to do this. I had,
They can all mute themselves.
can everybody just mute themselves for me? Can you do that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I muted everyone, but for some reason, yeah, if you can mute yourselves, that would be great. Kaden, Emmy, yeah, mute yourselves.
I don't know how to.
You
See,
can go on to the bottom of the screen and it'll pop up, it'll say mute and stop video.
right, there's a little microphone, yeah. Okay, let's see here, Annalisa, Emmy.
I can ask my mom if she knows how to mute it.
It's okay. If I click, okay, I muted, okay, good. All right, everybody's muted then, so you can still hear me. All right, good. So can you see the full screen of this? All right, so this is called the greedy triangle. Emmy, can you see?
There are other students and then you in a small box, so I don't know how to get you in a big box. I don't know.
Okay. All right, Annabeth. My daughter Annabeth. Hey, Annabeth. Okay.
Emmy, if you look up at the top, like if you take your mouse and go all the way up to the top, can you see something that says speaker view?
No.
Yes, I see speaker view.
So try to put your mouse up there. Maybe it'll show up when you put it up there.
I don't know where speaker view is.
Does it say gallery view now?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I still see you, Emmy. Okay. We'll get this. We're learning together, right?
If you actually go to where like it will change your screen where no one is, you're in the smaller box, and then we'll be able to see you bigger. But it will like keep on changing every second.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just, okay, so. Annabelle, I need your help. I gotta try to get into view where they just see me in the middle. And I can't get it to work.
I think most people can see just you.
Okay. So if I hold up the book, everybody, because I see everybody's, okay. So now you can see just me. All right. Okay.
Like that?
No, she wanted the other way where it was just me. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is called the greedy triangle. Thank you for your patience, boys and girls. I really appreciate it. Marilyn Burns is the writer, and it was illustrated by Gordon Silveria. Let me ask you this. Do you know what greedy means? What does greedy mean?
You want more than you need, actually.
Right, you want more than what you really need. So this triangle is greedy, and I wonder what makes this triangle greedy. What do you think this story might be about? A greedy triangle. Anybody? If you want to unmute, if somebody wants to unmute, Riley, I know you told us what greedy meant, which means to want more of what you need. Does anybody know what this, want to take a guess about what this story might be about? Emmy?
Maybe it's going to be about like the triangle and like wanting things that it doesn't need, and it has like no room, but it still wants things.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right, well, let me go ahead and start with the story then, and we'll see exactly how this triangle is greedy. How does this triangle want more of something that it really doesn't need? Can you see it okay? We good? All right. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in a symphony orchestra, catching the wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. The triangle's favorite thing, however, was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. That way, I always hear the best news, he said, the latest news, he said, which I can tell my friends. The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old thing, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the triangle went to see the local shapeshifter. How may I help you? The shapeshifter asked the triangle. I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the triangle, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the triangle into a quadrilateral. Now, quadrilateral is 4 sides, quad meaning 4, just like tri means 3. Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could take a position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows or frame pictures, and much, much more. The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be the pages of a book. I learned so many interesting stories that way, it said, which I can tell my friends. And the quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. But one day, the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter. How may I help you now? The shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the quadrilateral, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. And poof, the shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a pentagon. Now, a pentagon has 5 sides, and the pent means 5. Quad means 4, tri means 3. Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On a baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be a section on a soccer ball, or appear inside whenever someone drew a 5-pointed star. The Pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. I hear all the top secrets that way, it said. It's too bad I can't tell them to my friends. The Pentagon's friends couldn't help feeling left out. And after a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the Pentagon, and it became dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the Pentagon went back to the shapeshifter. So you're here again, the shapeshifter said to the Pentagon. Now, what would you like? I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the Pentagon, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter, and poof, the shapeshifter turned the Pentagon into a hexagon. And I think right now, this is why the triangle is so greedy, because he wants to be all these different shapes, and he really doesn't need to be all these different shapes. Life changed again in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy with all the new things it could do. The hexagon fit in as floor tiles in houses and patios, and fancy crackers at parties and picnics. It worked as the socket of certain bolts and the prongs of certain wrenches. The hexagon's favorite thing, however, was to be a cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees as they buzz in and out, it said. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive it was too busy to talk to its friends. The friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help feeling ignored. Again and again, the shapeshifter became restless, dissatisfied, and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one shape after another: a heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon, a decagon, and on and on. And finally, the shape had many, many sides and many, many angles. Its sides were so small that it had trouble keeping its balance. Its friends couldn't tell which side it was on and began to avoid the shape. They didn't want to be around it. One day, when the shape was going down a hill, it began to roll. Faster and faster it went, screeching around corners, crashing into fences and trees, colliding with bicycles and terrifying walkers. At last, the shape came to a stop. It felt tired and dizzy, lonely and sad. Enough, thought the shape. I don't know which side is up. I can't keep my balance. My friends don't want me around. The shape could no longer remember why it had been so unhappy as a triangle. Very carefully, it made its way back to the shapeshifter. Aren't you happy yet? The shapeshifter asked. I want to be a triangle again, said the shape. I'm not surprised, said the shapeshifter. And poof, the shapeshifter turned the shape back into a triangle. The triangle was delighted to have its old shape back again and kept itself very busy. Once again, it held up roofs, supported bridges, made music in a symphony orchestra, caught the wind for sailboats, became slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Still, the triangle's favorite thing was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. That way, I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. Its friends liked hearing the news and were glad the triangle was back in shape.
Isaac.
And that is the end of the story. All right, so what was this story mainly about? Let's think about the events. I'm asking for you to tell me what you think the main idea is. Since the main idea is one of our comprehension parts this week, what was this story mainly about?
Lola.
Let's see here. Riley.
Lola.
The story was about the triangle wanting to be like all different kinds of shapes because it didn't feel right doing the same things over and over again.
Exactly. It's all about this triangle wanting to be a different shape because it wasn't happy. That is what it is mainly about. What are some details? How do we know? What proves that? How do we know that this triangle was wanting to be something else, that it was not happy? Tristan, unmute your microphone. Tristan, what's the detail?
That the story was mainly about like the triangle. Well, a detail is that the triangle kept wanting to be a bunch of different shapes.
It did. Did it actually show the triangle turning into different shapes?
Yeah.
What's one of the shapes it turned into? What's the shape that it turned into?
Me.
A circle.
Okay, that's the detail. That proves that this triangle wasn't happy and it wanted to change, and it did. It turned into a circle. Megan. Can you say it again, Megan?
Also turned into a square.
It did, exactly. Emmy.
It turned into a hexagon.
Yes. Annalisa.
One of the other main ideas is to always be yourself, maybe.
You know what, Annalisa, that is a good thing to think about. And I think that that would be more like a good lesson. This story teaches us a lesson. And I think that is that we need to be happy for who we are, and that we are special in some way. So that is definitely a good lesson. And what you all said about how it changed into a square, it changed into a circle, it changed into a quadrilateral, all of those shapes, those are your details. The triangle was not happy. Dissatisfied means not satisfied. That word dissatisfied, dis means not, and that's a prefix. And we talked about prefixes when we were back in school. It means not satisfied, not happy. So I think what we can take away from this is that we should be happy with who we are and satisfied with the things that we have and who we are, because we're all special, right? We all have a purpose, okay? So plane shapes, that is what this is all about. Now, tomorrow, we're gonna look at the difference between what plane shapes are and three-dimensional shapes. Does anyone have an idea about what three-dimensional shapes are and how they're different from a plane shape? Let's just talk a little bit before we have about 5 minutes left. What is one of the differences between a three-dimensional shape and a plane shape? Megan? What is Megan, can you talk a little louder, sweetie?
I can't hear Megan.
I know, it's a little hard. Her sound may not be working.
Three-dimensional.
I can hear you. Go ahead, Megan. A three-dimensional what?
It looks like Megan frozen ice cream. And all of the
Don't sneeze, don't sneeze.
three-dimensional shapes are 3D.
Okay. Can you give me an example of a three-dimensional shape? Megan?
Like one of the three-dimensional shapes. Megan frozen ice cream.
No, I can hear. Just go ahead, Megan. Say that again.
A three-dimensional.
Okay. All right, Megan, I'll come back to you, sweetie, because your voice cut out a little bit. Emmy, what's an example of a three-dimensional shape?
A cube.
Okay, a cube. How is a cube different from a plane shape? Which is, in fact, when you look at a cube, what plane shape can you make from a cube?
A square.
Right. So, Tristan, Give me an example of something that would be shaped like a cube. Any idea? Think of something that's shaped like a block. Riley.
A box.
A box, yes. Annalisa.
I just need to tell you something. I might not be getting on this call on Thursday because I'm gonna be moving into my new apartment, so I may not be.
Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay, let's see. Megan, did you have your hand up?
Apartment.
Okay, Kaden, what's another, so a cube is 3-dimensional and a plane shape, a square is flat. What's the difference between the two? What does a cube have that a square doesn't?
Cube.
How is a cube different from a square?
One is 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional.
A cube has what? In fact, let me go ahead.
3 dimensions?
Yeah, it's 3-dimensional because it's got a top, it's got a front and a back. And I am going to go ahead while I'm thinking of it. I was going to share this with you on Thursday. What I'm going to do is show you. Can everybody see this?
Yeah.
This is a
It's
cube.
a cube.
And if you traced the side of a cube, it would be a square. Boxes would be an example of a cube. What about this shape? Can you see that okay? It's a cylinder. What
Kind of
That's what's a cylinder. I can't say it's
3-dimensional. The cylinder is 3-dimensional. I'm going to move back where there's some light. So the cylinder is 3-dimensional because it's got what? What does the cylinder have? And what plane shape could you get from a cylinder?
A circle.
A circle. And did you notice that it's got a height to it, that there's something to it? It's got a top and a bottom.
A circle?
Yeah, this is a squatty cylinder, but it's still a cylinder and you can still get a circle from it. The other shape.
That looks big.
What's this?
A pyramid.
Yeah, this is a pyramid. And what shape, if you were to trace the side of a pyramid, what flat or plane shape could you get from that? Emmy?
Triangle. You would get triangle.
You could get a triangle. And you know what? If I turn this over to the bottom, what?
You would get a square.
I would get a square. This is called a square pyramid because it's got a square on the bottom and its sides are a triangle. Okay. This could also be called a triangular prism, but again, it's got sides. That's what makes it 3-dimensional. We also have one of these. This is a what? What does this remind you of? Megan, what does this remind you of? A rectangle, right?
No.
If you traced this, it would be a rectangle. And then what about on the ends?
A square.
Yeah. So this is called a rectangular prism. And again, it's got a top and it's got a bottom, it's got sides, it's got a front and a back, and that's what makes it three-dimensional. A plane shape would just be the rectangle flat. There would be no, it would be two-dimensional, okay? So tomorrow there's going to be on Brain Pop. What I want you to do tomorrow, and I'll have it posted, is I want you to go in and I want you to look at the three-dimensional video on there, and then we're gonna do a little practice with that. Any questions about the plane shapes versus the three-dimensional? Okay. All right, the other thing real quick, this week we're starting economics. Economics is a subject that has to do with wants and needs, goods and services. And I know that we're starting out with wants and needs, but just talking about that. Chloe, what is a want? I just want to kind of go over this. What is a want? Can you unmute?
Like
Yeah.
something you really need and you really want, but you're not gonna get it because it's not a need.
Okay, so
You're not gonna get it because
right.
you have to do something to get it or something.
Okay, so want is something that you don't really need to survive. It's something that you just want to have. For example, a purse. A purse is not necessary for survival, but it would be a want. Okay, people, you know, some women like different purses, so they'll want a different purse, or even shoes. Maybe you want, you know, a different a new pair of gym shoes. Okay, so a want is something that we don't need for survival. Victor, what is a need? Let's see, Victor. Okay, Victor, can you hear? Okay, Bree, can you tell me what a need is?
Water.
Okay, yeah, we need water to survive. So a need is anything we need to survive, right? Yeah, water. What else? What else do we need to survive, Tristan? Food. What else do we need to survive? Annalisa.
Clothes.
Clothing. What else? Riley? Riley, what else do we need? We've got food.
Air.
We need air, food, clothing.
Air.
We do need that. We need, what else do we need? Something else. It's where you are right now.
A home.
Your home. Exactly.
Shelter.
Right, shelter. Those are the things that we need in order to survive. We also need love. So your families give you the love you need, right? They take care of you. All right. Any questions? No? Annalisa, let's go back to what you had said. So are you moving? Are you still going to be able to continue the year? Are you moving like still with Montfort Heights?
Yeah, I am. I'll be right off the Blue Rock Road exit, so I'll be close, like 2 seconds away.
All right. So you're just moving to a new place, but you're not actually moving out of like way out of the district.
Because
Good.
our house has so much problems.
Well, I'm hoping that you will find, you know, that things will be better where you go. So I'm just glad to know that you are still going to be with us. And it's okay if you missed the meeting on Thursday. That's totally okay.
Sorry I missed last Tuesday or Thursday.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Well, I apologize, boys and girls, for the. Oh, Riley, go ahead, sweetie.
I was gonna tell Annalisa that if she misses this Thursday meeting, it's recording, so anyone anybody that misses it,
I can't hear her
can
very well.
actually watch the recorded Zoom meeting.
Yeah, yes.
I can't hear.
Annalisa, what she said, and I know some of the sound, but what she said is that if you miss Thursday's meeting, I record them and I will post them on Google Classroom so that you can go back and look
Oh.
at the video.
Okay.
Okay, all of our Zoom meetings are recorded so that anybody that misses them can go back and look at them. So
Okay.
don't worry about it. Boys and girls, I am gonna go ahead and get ready to end our meeting. Thank you again for your patience, Mom and Dad. Thank you for your patience. I apologize for that long length of time trying to get the screen to where you could see me. Anyway, thank you for that, for being so patient. One more question before we go, Tristan.
My sister said hi.
Tell her I said hi. All right, my friends, I am going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you again for being good listeners and participating. And I will see you on Thursday.
Okay.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Leave.
Bye.
Bye-bye.